we're live. Shit. I didn't click the button fast enough. Yeah. Sorry, live stream. We were having a debate about
Nunya.
Ask the live stream what his name is.
Who in the live stream can name the director of the new Lion King movie, who also plays the driver for Tony Stark in the new Iron Man movies?
In any of the Iron Man movies.
I was about to say.
Were there not Iron Man movies before the main one?
Nope.
Huh. Well, that's cool. That guy. Name him. Also, welcome to Season 4, Episode 12, Build Stream. Today we're going to be installing the shock after we make sure I've turned everything on this time. Thank you for supporting Patreon. Welcome to a build stream. I have to know that guy's name. I'm not able to continue my day until I know personally. So I'm going to have to look it up.
You turned on your audio recording?
I did. Is this light yellow?
No.
Is it green?
It's green.
Fuck yeah. I did everything right this time, boys.
Jon Favreau.
John, yes. Holy shit. Skippy. I fucking love you. Thank you. Jon Favreau. Also, a guy that hosts a podcast named the same thing, not the same guy.
Yeah.
Man, Skippy, you get a freaking such a good high five.
Wow, that's it? That's the
Yeah,
best you could do? You get a good high five?
Dude,
now
hell
he gets
yeah.
a shitty high five.
Nobody gets a shitty
Nobody gets a shitty high five.
Right.
Not on purpose.
That's why I always fucking do that. Because people, you don't know what you're getting into with some people.
You don't know what you're getting into it with a dap either, because somebody could.
How can you know, that's why you gotta have fucking man hands.
But if you don't, though, what? You
Well,
just.
if you do this to everybody.
If you don't, you walk up to everybody like this and you say, "Nice to meet you, sir."
Yeah, right. Hello, my name is John. I'm an accountant at Bank of America. I don't know why I brought Bank of America into this.
I don't know either.
You know, whatever. Kind of salty about Bank of America. So. All right, this. What?
Nice to meet you, sir.
I would like a loan. You can't have a loan. Can't hear you. Dan, you can hear me. Trust.
Stand trolling.
Yep.
See? Jeff, I signed your leg in Austin. You're welcome. Okay, so if they can't hear us, I am going to increase the gain until...
Well, Skippy heard us just fine.
True. Dan? No, legit, Dan could be trolling. Hopefully he's not. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. See, on the audio recorder, when you burped, I saw that big green line shoot up, so I think it's working.
Cancer cabinet. Dun, 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 dun. Cancer cabinet. Cancer cabinet.
Yeah, see, it's working.
Yeah. It's the freaking cancer cabinet. What are you talking about? All right. It's a freaking Ziploc bag, Chase. That's so my favorite.
Woo! That's a lot of people's favorites, I think.
Wait, no sound at all. Oh yeah, look how low we are. Holy shit.
What'd you do?
Holy shit. I'm just gonna up every one of these until it's super loud. Maybe. No. Hold on. Put us here, let me play with this. You had good sound before, and we weren't.
Do you want this murder bag, or should I throw it away?
Yeah, you can throw that away. Interesting. Interesting.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that shouldn't have done anything. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. And that is plugged in. Huh. Jeff, can you hear us now? I mean, if there was good audio before and there's not good audio now, like this is super low. But I'm not sure why that think a restart would do anything, honestly. I mean, if I continue to up this. I don't know if that's. Oh wait, that is it. Okay, now that's working. Okay, so maybe I went in the wrong direction. So now it should sound better. Jeff's ear is gonna blow up after what I just did.
Okay.
Because I just increased the volume by like a lot. Dan came in, messed everything up. No, I'm glad Dan said something because otherwise y'all's audio would be terrible. Yeah, so I moved the volume out of the audio thing, I guess, in the wrong direction. Okay, they can obviously hear us now.
Sure.
My mic's going, your mic, that mic. Okay, I think we're good. So the goal at the end of this, I'm gonna think about that in my nightmares for the next couple of times.
Oh,
Dude, if you were to just clip that as a recording for just like
Oh
2
my
seconds,
God, please do that. So if I'm gonna send it to Jacob and he's gonna be like going
just
through footage.
just gonna flash it in, boop, just stick it in the middle of an episode somewhere. It's like boop, and you're just like,
Please record that just for a fucking second, because it would be.
That's not natural though.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. I wish. I'm literally going to try to put that in the middle of the files so that he's going to import everything. And it's just going to be like. What?
How did Luke do that?
Oh my God. Did I triple set my redundancies? Jeff, we currently have triple redundancy on audio, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3 redundancies. Yeah, so we should have audio. Okay, so the goal of this episode before we start going is replace this and put the rear subframe on.
okay.
Brian, that makes sense, right?
Sure.
God, this is gonna be an interesting one. Okay.
Is that what you want to do?
Fuck yeah, it is. That's
All right.
exactly
Well,
what I
then
want to do.
We can do that then.
All right. Nothing else. I like how Dan came in. He's like, "Hey, can't hear you. Later, fam. All right." Leaves. No other comment. Okay, we can start now.
Probably get it on second screen. Probably get it on second screen just listening.
Well, he's definitely gonna look over now. After I'm sitting here talking shit. Then we okay, everything is cool. Everything is awesome. The Lego movie was really cool. Everything was awesome. When we got the old ones and I got school.
Did you just say the Lego movie?
Yeah. You ever seen the Lego movie? No. Lego movie was fire, but went to see Lion King last night. Did y'all ever play with the other little toys? The Lego wannabes? You know what I'm talking about? So, you know how the Lego movie came out, did well, made a second one. So the other toys, they're making a movie now.
Connects?
It's not Connects.
Megablocks?
It's literally like the things with have hands just like Legos have. I'll have to look up the preview that we saw at Lion King the other night, but I was like, yee, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna turn this fan off real quick. Not off, but light low. Oh God, it's on 1. Jesus Christ.
Did you literally just try and duck out of frame?
No, I tried to see if the little.
absolutely did, didn't you?
No, I tried to see if the little red light was on. So I was like, check, okay. Why would I duck out of frame?
I have no idea. That's why I was surprised.
Oh, you were like, what are you doing?
Yes, like, did you really just duck out of frame? Like, that's what it looked like from here.
That's child's play. Speaking of child's play, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. This is our 2016 Ducati Panigale that we will give away to one of the beautiful people on Patreon, which is how we support this show. My name is Chase on 2 wheels, or my name is Chase. This is Chase on 2. That's Brian. You're being floated around by Luke. This is Wrecked Bike Rebuild, where we build motorcycles. We take them from wrecked bikes, we turn them into dream bikes, and he's gonna say,
What's that?
Say we give them away.
Oh, you
Say
mean
we give them away.
You mean we give them away?
Yeah. So, if you want to win the finished motorcycle once it's phenomenal with Olin's, and all other fancy stuff, check out Patreon in the link down below. And now, we can begin the intro. Wow. Yeah, I had a lot of energy on that one. Felt good. Yeah.
You went from MC in the circus to a wrestler in the ring. Let's see what else was thrown in there a little bit. I don't know. There's this thing.
It's like a variety show,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what you get with me, bro. It's like, it's a freaking roll of the dice, hope for 12. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What if 12 isn't good though?
I don't know how to play craps, but I don't think that's right.
I don't even know anything about craps. All right, now we get to intro what we do. I'm not gonna mess anything up doing that, right? That's just the break. When the break is, I'm just like closing the break. Okay, I just like playing with things. So,
It sounded dirty.
yes, it did, Brian. Yes, it did. In today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to show you at home how easy it might be to replace your rear shock if you have a 2016 Ducati Panigale. Just kidding, you don't have a Panigale because this is the only Panigale.
There you
might
go.
have a Panigale. So, we have a fancy new shock. If
It's
you
not
wanted
made
to-
out of cardboard.
It's
It's not made out of cardboard.
No, that would be the on-off game. But we have Olin's front. We have an Olin's damper. So, who the hell would put anything else on this motorcycle other than a brand new Olin's rear shock from our beautiful people at Moto Million? Pan to the Moto Million thing. Million. Okay, now pan back to me. Wait, your headphones are not into the microphone, so I'm literally doing this for no reason.
Uh-huh.
Nailed it. Guys, if you have not heard of Moto Million yet, that's probably because you haven't watched any of these episodes, but Moto Million is where we are getting the vast majority of the parts for this motorcycle. If you would like to get a discount on the parts that you want to get off Moto Million, you can use discount code CHASE. That'll get you a little bit of a discount. So you don't got to pay full price, because who the hell likes paying full price for anything? Almost did not. No, I'm good. Good. Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Back is bruised. So go check out Moto Million if you have. They specialize in leader bike super sport. So if you got a leader bike super sport, highly recommend you guys go and check Moto Million out. There will be a link for them in the description as well. Okay. Olin's rear shock. We're going to get the subframe back on, and I'm not going to touch the exhaust. There's been a lot of comments where when we installed our front exit Terminioni exhaust, supposedly in another episode, like I grabbed.
I'm sure we have. Everything's going to get wiped down before it gets covered anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
So I'm going to put gloves on before we get serious, and then we're unboxing that beautiful, beautiful bean footage. You think I can do this entirely by myself?
No.
But did you say no? Nice.
Do it again.
What?
I wasn't recording.
So Brian, you think I can do this whole thing by myself?
No. No.
Okay, so before we started filming, Brian said it's 2 bolts. It's whatever. So why?
Oh, the shock, yeah.
Yeah.
Shock is 2 bolts.
What do you think? What did you
Well,
think?
what else are we putting on?
The rear subframe.
Right. No, I don't think you could put the subframe on by yourself.
Test your might.
Mortal
I mean,
Kombat.
are you
Test.
are you
your
challenging
might.
yourself?
What?
Are you challenging yourself to do that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Now I'm challenged. You can't say that's what I thought to another man and then
Well,
be like,
that was what
"Oh,
I thought.
Okay. I got a razor blade. Watch your mouth, Brian. Not that I would ever do anything to you. you knife.
He's got a little tiny razor blade, and I got a little tiny knife.
Supposedly, one of our awesome Patreon people are sending us knives. We will unbox them on an episode if that happens. That's Luke's doing. Y'all never see Luke, but he's like a little gremlin. He's just like,
Now
and
is,
then all
a,
you see is,
now is a perfect time for that clip that we took before. Open it up, the hand is there, boom, big smile, then back to the box again.
oh, yes. I hope somebody's watching that video and they see the hand come up and they're just like, holy shit. Woo! Look at this.
It's a shiny box.
Hey, you guys want to make a Pulp Fiction joke where we have a gold light in here?
You didn't even know what that was about. You can't say that.
What do you mean? Why the hell? Oh, adjusting? Nice.
Did he pick one out for us, or did we pick out a rear shock?
I gave him all the notes on the rider size, and he made all the, I guess, like you order it, when you order these things.
You have to order the spring separately and then have them assembled.
I guess so, but ta-da!
Wow.
Right. That looks so cool. I'm excited.
Take some fancy shots of it.
You ask, huh? Of course I'm going to do B-roll, but
So, do you want heads up on what you're doing, or do you want to fumble through it? Because I can make it really easy on you if I tell you how to do it now. Or do you want to fumble through it?
ask me after I do B-roll.
Okay, think about that for a minute.
Ask me that exact same question, though, because I have a good answer to it. What? Yeah, we'll record at that point, but I gotta do the B-roll first. Oh. Just so people know what the the shock used to look like with Brian's face in the background. Absolutely perfect.
Okay. So what do you think, everybody out there in Patreon? Should I make it easy on Chase and explain to him how to put everything on so it's easy, or should I just let him fumble through it? We'll see what they say.
I can go ahead and tell you what they're going to say.
Sounded like a 5-year-old burped.
Why are you judging my burps?
Because you burped in front of me?
You gonna burp in front of me, it's gonna be a good burp, boy.
I know chicks that burp better than that.
Why are you trying me, Brian? Why are you trying it? What? Don't judge my...
I was chuckling about you whispering to Luke.
Because, like, if you see somebody with headphones on behind a camera, you assume they have, like, monitoring headphones. Luke's over here fucking playing Daft Punk while we're...
Yeah, you're ruining my illusion, dude. It looks like I'm doing something like
Right.
to work. I'm just sitting on the phone.
All right. Let's get that camera rolling, and let's do the dang
Did anybody respond?
Challenge Chish.
Okay.
Humble.
Well, I won't grab the tools out of his hands. I'll just kind of, I'll let him decide. Are you going to decide, Chase?
Say
It's
what?
pretty unanimous on their side.
What's pretty unanimous, Brian?
Whether they want me to explain to you how to do it or to just let you fumble through it.
Ask me your question one more time.
Do you want me to explain to you how to do this so it goes smoothly, or do you want to fumble through it?
So, I would like to attempt to do it myself, but with a big asterisk, do not allow me to mess something up.
Now, do you want me to make you walk yourself through the job before you touch anything, and then we can go from there? Or do you just want to fumble around with shit in your hands the whole time?
No, I'm reading the directions.
Okay, so we already discussed that was the easy part.
What, the directions?
No, the rear shock.
Right.
So the directions for the subframe are non-existent, and that's what we're referring to. That's the difficult part. And you're still over here looking through the directions to put the shock on. That's 2 fucking bolts.
I was thinking when you said, do I want to fumble through it, I still thought there was like a secret to the rear shock. So...
Well, here's the... See, I'm not trying to give you too much information because you haven't decided whether or not you want me to explain to you how to do this, or if you want to fumble through it.
Okay, answer this question. Is it smarter for me to put the rear subframe on before I change the shock out?
No.
Dang it. I was getting a really
Sort
good
of.
feeling. Okay.
Not really.
All right, so
Maybe.
give me an overview. Give me an overview and then I'll...
Okay, please. Look at the bike. Where does the subframe attach? How do you put it on? Where does it go?
Okay.
Where's the hardware? How do you get tools to everything?
So this right here and these boys right here are the only 4 bolts that the rear subframe goes onto. So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. All right?
Right.
Understandable?
Yes.
Where's the hardware at? Where does the heat shield for the exhaust go? Where does the subframe lay?
Subframe lays here. Shield is attached to the subframe, and it goes on top of this.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now you have the subframe with the heat shield over the rear cylinder head pipe,
Yes.
and you've got to install 4 bolts.
Right.
Do you see any issues with that?
Getting the subframe into the...
Do you see any issues with being able to install any of those 4 bolts?
I don't think so. Like if I took them out and then slotted it in, potentially. But what... Am I like totally missing?
Yep.
Like a...
Absolutely. Take all 4 bolts out. Take the 4 subframe bolts off of the motorcycle right now.
Okay.
Now, look at the subframe while you're doing what you're doing right now. Now continue taking your bolts out.
Okay.
It's going to click, and I'm going to stand here and I'm going to watch until it finally clicks.
Is your thing that is got to click?
Don't ask, do. Go over there, finish taking those bolts out.
Okay.
Until you have a decisive, this is the answer, I don't want any questions.
So, in the meantime, while I unscrew this bolt, let's have a conversation. So,
This is not 20 questions.
now, I realize that we have a different exhaust and the old shield's not going to fit on there. So we have to replace the heat shield before we can put the rear subframe on.
Correct.
Was that the big...
What are you doing right now? Imagine that bolt that's in your hand right now is tight,
Uh-huh.
where you have to tighten it.
Okay.
I couldn't get you there without saying something. You weren't getting it.
Okay, so it's you're referring to an order of operations of remove stock shock, remove old heat shield, install new heat shield, install new subframe, install new shock. We did it together.
There you
So
go.
exciting.
See? You get it now? Why I made you work through that so hard?
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're going to put a brand new, super clean, perfectly shiny carbon fiber heat shield over
Right.
that beautiful pipe. And then you're going to jam a big ass tool down along the side of it to get to that piece of hardware because it screws in from this direction
When I
and
could
possibly destroy or damage the heat shield
Right.
when we're already replacing the shock. So you could just pull the shock out of the way and get to that. That one piece of hardware is the tough one.
So just out of curiosity, how frustrating was it for you to play the word game and then that be the last bolt I take out?
Well, I knew that's the way it was going to be. You
Oh,
weren't going to
okay.
actually get it until you had to cram your hand in there.
I know, but like I could have, like the universe.
Now, you could have
made me-
taken this one out, and then reached for this one instead of walking around to the other side of the bike.
Well, I was trying to get that. Like I was trying to assess situation. Okay, so hardware's out.
Now, that being said,
Yes,
farty hands.
farty hands.
We don't want to have the weight of this motorcycle resting on the exhaust system for very long.
So before we
So
take
the
this
order
out,
in which we need to, well, see, here's the thing is the subframe on this bike doesn't pivot down and on. You
Okay.
kind of have to like slide it in.
right?
So we can't like get this started.
Okay.
I guess we could lay it in here and do the two
Bolts at
top
the top.
bolts.
And this is all with this boy still on.
Yep.
Because when we take this off, the bike is essentially going to become a
It will
taco.
want to, yeah, just fold in half.
Okay. All
So
right.
we'll get the subframe where it needs to go
Right.
and some of the bolts started.
Right.
So the subframe will hang in its place.
right.
Then we can remove the shock, tighten that subframe bolt, and then
Right.
put the new shock back in and get the weight of the motorcycle off the bottom of the bike.
So this went from this shouldn't be a bad episode to now I got some like anxiety going. Like
Sweet, perfect. That's how we like it.
that's not how we like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the brand new heat shield on, since that's not a mission critical like
Correct.
sitch.
We are prepping for the next step.
Why is this camera sitting here trying to focus? Now, question to somebody that's worked on a Panigale before. While we have the rear subframe disattached, should we take off the hardware? Like the
The bodywork?
bodywork, yeah. Like, will it be easier to do it now?
Not really, because if we're going to put the subframe on, then if we're going to put the subframe on and then put the bodywork on the subframe later, then taking it off now is going to confuse you as to how it comes on and goes off.
Okay, so wait till I'm about to put the new...
Take it off, put it on.
Got it.
Do it
Okay.
all in one shot.
Try to do this as close to feedback as possible. Let's move to where Patreon peeps can see. So they're on that camera, so we'll do this over here. Cool. Oh, the other one's in there.
You might want to get an extension and the right size Allen.
Right size is absolutely key. I was kind of hoping I'd have just breezed past and you wouldn't have said anything, but
Come on now.
still not.
What fun is that?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't get that wrong twice.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
I'm not a master tech, Brian. Barely a. I wouldn't call myself a tech at any level, to be honest. Not playing that game.
Why not? That game's not fun.
The. Nah. Okay. Noted. It's definitely the wrong size. Boy, it's a little tight.
It's just all the heat.
Oh, that's a good point. This shit must get hot.
Now you're gonna need that spacer.
Excuse me. Ooh, now we get to show the fancy new heat shield. That has
Where
a
is it?
carbon. Oh wait, it's right there. This thing is fire.
Now, is there more hardware, or do we use that hardware?
Good question, don't know. Look at that. Holy cow. Hold both of those.
I can tell.
I couldn't.
Well, this is 2 layers plastic and an actual steel heat shield, where that is all just a piece of carbon with some foil tape on the inside of it.
This is probably.
Spin it around again?
Ta-da! This is probably. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably not going to deflect as much heat as that, is it?
No, probably not.
So this. What do those go into?
No, I don't know.
1 second.
That, let me see that bracket. Come over here.
So these two? No. This is all the hardware that was from the exhaust. And there's no bolts.
Goes this way, so it does go on this way.
Unless it's these.
I don't know.
Did that come with the exhaust?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
or
the
is that
that's the main part. I'm like,
a 1299 thing? They wouldn't just do that.
They're not threaded.
Do these go into them?
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should get the directions for the exhaust system.
noted. You looking up the exhaust directions?
No, I just thought I'd cruise around YouTube for a little bit.
Appreciate that kind of answer.
So I'm pretty sure this is going to go underneath this license plate bracket.
Uh-huh.
Here and here. I'm just not sure how that is supposed to sit,
Right.
because it's going to go in like this. It's going to sit right about there.
Right. I mean, it might be these little bumps.
Let me see. I don't know what they would rub against though.
It's to press against that, I assume.
It's already touching it. Now, if we went through here and put it on, I'm not sure. Well, we definitely have to take this license plate bracket off, so you could do that. Get this out of the way.
I'll wait until Lou gets done with research phase. Then we can catch people up with what we're looking into. So are we gonna need these guys? These little spacers?
I don't know. We'll need the directions for that. Because I don't know if this heat shield needs to be, brought up
Right.
with that spacer or not. The hardware is too long without the spacer, which I think it is. No, it would go on the other side.
Really?
I would think so.
Because the other side's just,
What are aromatic washers?
They're like heat shield washers. Those are already on, like I have that assembly done already.
Okay. Well, you're talking about that, yeah.
Oh,
So it says to put that in first.
The brakes in first?
Yeah, so if you look all the way back up at like 30, and we might be able to do it out of order, but I think it's because it says passenger pegs. But there's that piece, right?
Yeah. Where does it?
34. It's 32. Position the two tampons to the pipe supports on the rear heat shield support bracket black.
It is the two little rubber things.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where these are supposed to.
You right here.
Right, but what are they supposed to push against?
The frame.
But here's what I'm saying is this is on here, it's already touching the frame without the rubber things on it.
Yeah.
So now it would put like all that extra pressure on it.
So it doesn't scrape the frame. They are called tampons.
I have to make sure to use the correct terminology.
That's what it says. It's a bad translation.
Damn Italians. Don't put the second one in quite yet. Or are you doing that to test?
No, because you can't get them back out again.
Ever.
Oh, man. Two smart asses. Two smart asses appeared.
That's why I usually don't talk much, because I know you get enough from home. I don't put it in yet.
No,
It's not filming.
we're doing a
You're not going to be able to do it with gloves on.
really, is
Yeah.
it that?
Yeah, it's in there pretty good. You can
Yeah.
try it. It'll be fun to watch.
Alright.
Come on,
Oh,
I
we're
thought
going-
you were all about.
No. Okay. We have to tell everybody what we looked up because we left at like
So I don't know. Does that still?
what happens. So
Okay.
we were looking at the heat shield because it is
Obviously, very different.
yes, it's very different, and we deduced that the top obviously goes in underneath the
License plate bracket.
license plate
You're welcome
bracket.
for words.
Always. Then we got the two holes that match here in the middle. But the main issue part was at the top, there's nothing to go into the frame, but we have these little, as they are Italianly referred to as tampons, just like little rubber stoppers. You say I can't do these with gloves? Can I use grease?
That'd probably make it worse.
Dude, how the hell did you get that in there? Oh my good God. Is there like a key to let people at home know how to do this?
Yeah, pull.
It won't rip it, like,
Pull.
pull. Let me watch intently.
Hold on, let me get close enough. So you can see what's going on.
You
Alright,
good?
Thanks for that example, Brian. Sweet. Now we can take that off and get this underneath there.
Pull.
Pull. Never shot.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
What?
Pull.
No, but well, I mean, it wasn't just pull. Let's be clear. It was a situation. Y'all are quiet. I don't like it when y'all are quiet. I don't trust anything that happens.
Nonverbal communication.
You both like punch me in the face. I don't know if this is gonna fit. Nailed it. It will fit, but not. Trying to think of a way to do this without having to take it all out.
Right side, second drawer. That's the third drawer.
Oh.
All the way in the back. There you go.
These are all of the devil kind.
All the what kind?
Devil kind. The kind that will not be spoken of.
Well, those are all standard, and if you try and take that bolt out, you're going to strip it.
I'm confused.
Those are
The
standard.
tools in your hand,
Oh, these
standard.
are. I thought you were talking about these, and I was like, that was what I just said. I didn't know these were standard.
you need to go to the devil Allen wrenches.
Can I fit
No.
in there? Damn it. Do we not have any metric Allen wrenches
Are
like
they
that?
not there?
No.
Those black ones aren't metric?
No. Every one of them is standard. Or the fraction bullshit.
I guess we don't then.
Son of bitch. That's stupid.
The bracket is in the way to get to the piece of hardware.
Take the bracket off.
So 13.
It's a half inch. New Rage Cycles is a US-based company.
US sucks. Those are all too big. Do we have smaller ones of those, right? Somewhere?
Where's the Allen socket that fit in this thing?
He doesn't even have it.
Is the 5 mil? Where was it? Where's the Allen that fit in this? Not the T handle, the Allen, just the Allen.
Over here?
The one with the socket, Allen.
Yeah, you can definitely get one.
You already have a ratchet over here.
More's plenty, or more's always better. Yay!
Now, we're gonna need hardware to put in here. Those aren't gonna do it because they're too long.
The instructions are pulled up, Chase.
Do
Wop.
up.
So it should be near 70.
So 72. Are those not already installed?
Which ones?
Okay, so that's those. See, those are the 3 that they install there. And it's those 2 that we need.
Oh, we already have the heat shield mounted to the bracket. That's showing you how to mount the heat shield to the bracket. We need to go where the bracket meets the machine. There you go. Bracket meets machine 37. Right. Now they're showing you they're putting it back on with passenger pegs.
Huh.
So then after you put it on with the passenger pegs, where would it grab the heat shield?
Do those spacers not go on the inside of the...
These don't fit.
I don't know if they're gonna knock clearance the inside of the pipe.
I thought that's
Which
what
is
he was
why
talking
I'm-
about with the,
Why I'm confused whether these are gonna be used or not.
what is it called?
Those are the ones that just came out of there, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong size.
But there's also those boys.
But those fit inside of here.
So you need to take that all the way apart and transition them?
Potentially, but I don't know if those will come out.
See these?
Can we find out?
Flip it. Fit inside. So it's the same length.
Right.
Whether we have these or not, this is the right length. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you don't need to take that apart.
Is that as far as that goes in?
And then it stops. Yeah. I mean, it obviously has more space, but
Right.
we need to run a tap through it to get all the Loctite out of it.
Okay.
But I think that's the way that it goes, is that way.
Okay. Well, we'll record and go that route, and if it's not, then we'll pivot and figure it out.
All right, grab the tap. Should be 8 by 1 or 8 by 1 1/4. 8 by 1 1/4.
Yo.
Luke, we'll just run with what we got and then figure it out as we go. You said 8 by 1 1/4.
I don't think
Yep.
anything goes in there. The
Well,
only
these-
thing that it's showing.
So does the
When it shows installing this onto this, because this is already mounted in like 70, it only shows these three going on. So when it's just this one, like you said, it just has the foot peg mount running through it.
but that goes in between the heat shield and this,
I know.
doesn't it?
Exactly.
So this would be like way up here. I don't know how that would even work.
It doesn't say anything about these. About like taking those out or anything. It just says use the original screws and bolts from.
Right, those are the original bolts for the foot pegs, and when you take the foot pegs out, you use those spacers. Those are the same width of the foot peg mounting bracket, the way the hardware goes in, so that's why those are there. But if we're not putting the foot pegs back on, then this heat shield would go on after this bracket went on, but these bolts aren't long enough to make up that space. Like, does the foot peg bracket, oh, the foot peg bracket is up here. It's these two, not those two.
Okay.
So these two bolts would have been like this long from the factory. That's why. So the stock heat shield, where's the stock heat shield? Yeah, the stock heat shield, the foot pegs. Oh no, they would be down here. They would be down here. I'm so confused with this. How the fuck do they want you to put this shit on?
See, 'cause that's all it shows for that. If you go back up to
I don't need that part.
so previous page.
Those spacers fit into that little cut, or the little, two little cuts on the inside.
So they use both holes for passenger foot pegs, right?
I guess so, yeah. So this goes on and the foot pegs go on. So if you're not using the foot pegs,
In a picture, this is assembled before this goes on to this. You get what I'm saying?
How could that be assembled if this goes under, like in between,
So you take all these out,
right?
and these bolts are. It doesn't say anything about these either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you assemble this black piece onto the subframe. You install the pipe, and then you put the subframe back on, and this is what the instructions say. And
Right.
then you put the heat shield on to this
After
black.
the subframe's already on?
Yes.
Holy Jesus. So hypothetically, this heat shield only connects, like, it connects back here, and that's it. That only holds the heat
It
shield.
connects right here and right here. This
So
isn't
you,
on here yet.
so, like, on the instructions, it's install this black piece,
Mhm.
then the heat shield goes in, and you put 5 bolts in.
That's
How many
what
bolts
this
do you
is
put
saying.
in? What do these holes do then?
This makes absolutely no sense at all, these directions at all.
So this black piece gets assembled to this subframe
Subframe gets put on the bike.
with these already. I don't know about this, but in the instructions. And then you put the subframe on, the heat shield onto it. Like this isn't, there's no way that these could be on the outside
Right.
because this isn't installed yet when these go on.
Right.
Per the instructions.
So my issue is if there is a foot peg bracket here,
Mhm.
there's going to be some depth in between this and this.
Well, you just said that these are the same,
So
right?
imagine this wasn't here.
Mhm. That's how it should be installed.
Right, and then this goes on.
Yeah.
And then the foot peg bracket goes on. The
Mhm.
foot peg bracket is this thick.
Yep.
Right, so then the heat shield goes on. The heat shield's going to have to go on top of the foot peg bracket.
Yeah. So this should
So
be,
how do these bolts reach? Because there's going to be this huge gap here because the foot pegs are mounted.
Mhm.
So how does this hardware reach this bracket if the foot peg's in the way?
Oh, you're saying the foot peg goes in between the metal
Yeah.
and the carbon?
goes in between like that.
Oh.
How thick is it? Thick boy or not?
Thick enough. See, here's the other thing. Is once this subframe is on, there's no way to get to this fucking hardware to put this heat shield on.
Exactly.
There's zero way to do that at all.
They just show a picture of
So what we're gonna
what
do-
they did is they lifted it up. They didn't install it all the way. They put these bolts in. They lifted the subframe up, and then they put those 3 bolts in. That's
Yeah,
what
but
they
when we
did.
took this apart, this subframe wouldn't swing because it didn't clear shit.
Well, they manipulated that picture to make it look like that.
Unless it works like that with this pipe on and it clears this pipe.
Mhm.
But
That's. I say we.
Regardless-
assemble it how you guys want to.
just do it on the bench like we were going to do it and just put it on. I don't know. We're going to have to find some hardware to fit because that shit's just not going to do it. I don't get how putting the passenger pegs on this thing would actually work.
Or why they would design it that way if it's a race exhaust.
I mean, it is a street, but,
It's for race use.
well, you understand what I'm saying, though, trying to get the foot peg bracket in between here and there, unless that's what these cutouts are for. And when you put the fucking,
No way, man.
when you put the passenger pegs on, you cut out this line so it fits over the pegs, and then everything fits.
That would make sense though.
So what I'm afraid of is that when we mount it on there and we don't have this thing pushed down, it's not going to line up here.
You know what I always say? It's only one way to find out, boys.
All right, let's get the camera going and catch them up to whatever the hell.
Fucking Ducati, that's what the hell. Did you say take it back? Absolutely not.
My Ducati sits in the shop with like 3 major issues, and it does well.
Jeez. All right, first hurdle. A little early in the game, but okay.
All right, Chase has no words, so I'm going to explain this for you.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how to get the aftermarket heat shield mounted to the subframe so we can mount it onto the bike and cover the new exhaust system. The way the directions show how to do it, there's a set of passenger pegs on the bike that they're showing on the directions, and we don't have passenger pegs on our bike, so some of our hardware is different, and they don't show how to install it without the passenger pegs on it. So we're a little confused as to whether everything is going to line up correctly for us or not. But I think we kind of got it lined out at this point.
Yeah. So
Now we just need proper hardware.
And first step, are we still gonna tap the?
Yeah, we need to
hole?
get all the old Loctite and stuff out of these holes and corrosion and whatnot.
Right. You said 8 1/4.
Yeah, it should be 8 by 125. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to do it or if it's still too long.
Here, try it.
I think there's just a tiny bit of shoulder on this bolt, so it stops a little early. Where these are threaded all the way to the head, so they'll drive all the way in. I think that little shoulder is going to stop us with that particular bolt. What happened to all the McMaster hardware we bought? Is it up in here?
Up in here, up in here. I don't know.
I'll take that as a no.
Not sure. I would assume it's in all the drawers. Huh?
Gimbal something else.
What is it doing?
It's not working.
Holes tapped.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you run a bolt through them with your fingers?
About to find out. Yep, that bolt will go all the way in now. I'll keep trying all the other ones though.
Still looking for hardware over here.
Might have to re-tap that one. If I'm tapping one of these holes and I start feeling resistance, do I need to stop? Or just keep pushing?
You're going to have some resistance.
Okay.
Only if you use resistance, back out and back out like a quarter and even good, back out even good.
Because if it goes in like that, and then it hits the area.
Sometimes you need to back it out to allow some of that water pressure to come out.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Instead of just like jamming it all the way through the thread.
Right. Jesus.
So do you can you not point me in a direction of where all the hardware we bought from McMaster went to? Any ideas?
The only hardware I would know would be in the drawers or in the top.
Remember when we
don't know.
bought from McMaster, they came in little boxes and stuff?
I thought we just populated the tops, the drawers with them. I'm gonna try running a bolt back through there and see how it goes. Oh, okay, I guess I was just hitting the bottom.
Still fucking with that same hole?
Yeah. These two were a little gummed up. The other two are fine though. There we are.
All right, not quite sure what to use for. Did that turn that all the way back in again? How close does it get? Yeah, see, so that bracket that we're putting on is not that thick.
The bracket, you mean the heat shield black
Bracket
yeah.
that we're putting on is not that thick. But if that bracket and this bracket are together, Okay, that should work then. We're going to put these in here.
Oh, you're going to switch the hardware from the back to the front.
Yep. Hopefully that will give us all the length we need. Might actually have to take the heat shield off real quick to put these in,
Okay.
so we don't pinch the heat shield,
All right.
which there's like all kinds of little tiny washers and shit in here. Okay. So we did pre-assemble our heat shield to the bracket, which we're now going to have to take off so we can get the hardware. You're not recording yet. When you backed up, I thought, there it goes. So we pre-assembled our heat shield to the mounting bracket. And right now we're going to have to take the heat shield off so we could put the bracket on the subframe first, and then we'll put the heat shield back on again.
So it's just these 3 bolts?
Those 3 bolts, and we'll get the bracket on, and then we'll put the heat shield on, and then we'll move on to what we were doing originally. Hopefully, sometime.
Yeah. By the end of the day.
There's little washers stuck to that.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see.
Just leave them on there. Just don't put it down so they fall off. Make sure they stay that way, yeah.
Okay.
And then you can just
Now-
take those 3 spacers out of the way. They're not attached.
So it's bracket and then the that guy.
And then the hardware.
And now we're going to switch the hardware from here to here
Yep, and then
So
from
the-
here to there so everything fits nicely.
because, so if you guys notice, these bolts were used in the rear of the bracket, but they're a lot longer than the ones that go here in the middle. But if we swap these silver ones should fit in the back and the black ones should fit in the front, we think. That's our current risk assessment.
We should probably put a little Loctite on those too.
Okay.
And then we're going to use those washers with that as well, with those bolts in your hand.
Right. So, yoink. What type of Loctite?
Something's better than nothing at all.
Blue it is.
So, yeah.
Testing the sport mode of the Ronin S.
Dude, I don't know what's wrong with that thing. There's no battery pack on it and it's still working out.
Is the Ronin on right now? Let me calibrate it real quick and see if that helps.
This thing's stripped out. Cool.
Okay.
Buying this made in China shit.
Find another gimbal company that's not.
No, this.
Yep. Stripped out.
I'm getting a bicep workout.
You can put it in your into your pelvis. That works. whatever this area is.
I don't have a whole lot of
Meat in the pelvis region.
True.
blubber. It's weird because it doesn't have a battery or anything on it, so.
And all the motors say that it's working well, like it's balanced, right? Whatever, just tell us to pause if that starts happening. Okay, blue Loctite. And the washer is between...
Why'd you take the washer off?
I don't know.
Put it back on.
My hand was already dedicated to opening the Loctite. I couldn't change. I'll drive it down the rest of the way once we get the other one on.
Don't forget the other 2 bolts.
Wait, what other 2 bolts?
Those in your hand right now.
These go on now before?
Yes. That's why we took the heat shield off to put those on.
Huh.
You were, I guess, lost as to why we were taking
I
the
know, I
heat shield
thought
off
those
the
were
bracket.
going through the heat shield.
No, because then they would smush the carbon up against this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because the head of that bolt didn't fit in the little hole.
I'm caught up now. I had a misunderstanding then. No, I think I need a 6 for the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
6 is already out in the world. Ah, there we are. There we go.
Afraid to make those tight?
Huh?
Afraid to make those tight?
Well, I mean, I've got Loctite on, so that should be good. Maybe. There's also not a lot of pressure or weight on it, right?
But there is a lot of vibration.
Should I like...
Couldn't hurt. Okay. Okay.
Now, heat shield. Or do we do the heat shield now, or do we try to get the subframe on?
No, I think it'll be easier to do the heat shield now.
Okay.
Now here's the tricky part, right? There's 3 of these, 3 of these. So this one, how does that lay in here?
There's
This one, And this one, I already have that special washer on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then take that one, just drop it. There you go. Let's line that one up. New.
I realize we have a giant wall in front of a loop shot.
So you see how this washer is kind of wobbling around? Take a little pressure off. See how it sticks out one side? These bolts have shoulders on them, and that washer fits around the shoulder, so that one's not centered. You're going to smash the washer. So loosen a little bit and recenter the washer.
Oh, the
see it?
little- Yeah.
I mean, you can take it off if you need to.
Yeah. me too.
Or is it?
It's kind of tighter on that side.
So knock it off of there. Put it over that piece that's sticking up, just over so slightly. And then go ahead and drive the bolt in.
I thought it was like attached to the.
I did too. There you go. It's lined up now.
Okay. Nice.
That was a spider.
I saw that. That's terrifying. All right. That was
All right, so now we got all the hardware figured out and the heat shield is on.
right.
Okay, so now we want to prepare the motorcycle.
Yes. Prepare the motorcycle. Wait, what do you mean prepare the motorcycle?
Are you in the room?
Yeah, but like we've already got the hardware up here.
What's the
like-
next step? What did we talk about before?
Right. We were taking that off so we could quickly, so we wouldn't have to spend as much time. I thought we were gonna prep this like up here and have it kind of ready to go. Do you think we should just wait on that then?
If we can get that shock out and just drop the subframe on, put the bolts in it, and then put the new shock back in, it's like, why
Okay.
have this thing hanging out here in front of us that's going to be in the way?
Right. All right. So we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. It's lift, wood, motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay. Or I said lift, I meant jack. But I'm pretty sure you already knew that.
Now we're going to try and get something on the oil pan, not so much on the pipe, right?
Correct.
That's the. That'll work.
Should I go like long ways so there's less like horizontal space?
Doesn't. I don't think it really matters. I mean, if you're going to do it like that, you got to cross both pipes so there's an even load on everything.
What size is that? 22? Yeah. No, it's more on one pipe than the other. Does it need to be even?
How is it more on one than the other?
It's gonna come up and barely touch the metal on my side. It's gonna. Yeah.
All right, well, don't put any pressure on it yet.
Okay. It's like.
Take a little pressure off that. Okay. Yeah, we don't even need it to touch yet. So we don't want to have any pressure on that at all if we don't need to.
All right, so it's not touching, but it's
They're
correct.
ready to go.
Right.
All right, now let's find all the tools we need to take the shock off. Find all the tools we need to put the subframe hardware in.
Right. Okay, so. Whoa, what the hell is that? So, are those. Do we have those? We do! Yay!
We got it off, right?
Yeah, but we're crafty. So I didn't know if it was a craft services situation or what. Allow me to use this. Close. No cigar. All right. Are these
I
all the
teach
same
you a little
size?
trick about that stuff?
What? Tap the top of them?
Yes.
I don't think you've taught me that, but I did think about doing that while.
So if you have the hardware in your hand, instead of keep
Right.
pulling sockets out of your drawer, you just fit the hardware onto what's there.
That's the subframe hardware. Now that boy. Why am I always one off?
You want an answer to that?
I think I'm good without the answer on that one.
Now, wouldn't it be nice if you could actually get to that?
Yes, but this is part of this whole thing.
Are you sure?
I mean, it goes in here. This goes into that.
Are you sure? You're positive now.
Yep. I now know the error of my ways.
You know, I always give you an out. I wouldn't. Have I? Maybe I have been like, "Are you going to take that off?" We're like, "Well, okay. Well, then we're not going to do that." But typically, when I say that, it's usually because there's a shortcut somewhere.
Hey Brian, it looks like this can be taken off. Let's try to
Don't break it.
pop it up. Oh, perfect. Okay, here's what was going through my head. I understand what you're saying. There have been many times in the past where you ask me a question, and you're asking me a question because you know that that should lead to me being like, let me think more on that. But when you did that, I was like, well, maybe I can loosen 3 bolts and take this whole thing out of the way, which has happened before. So both routes, like this is obvious, like that was easy, but that would have been easier than trying to break this thing. If there could have been 3 bolts to this whole panel.
Well, you wouldn't have had to try and break it. You could have just looked at it a little bit better.
Yeah, but there's a lot of angles here though. You know what I mean? Like there's, like with all these and this.
But when this is on, I mean, I do agree that Ducati did a good job of making this look like all one piece, but that's not attached to there.
I mean, if I would have grabbed it at the right spot, then yeah, I might have seen that. But
Now you know.
and I saw this guy. See, it's a black bolt with a silver washer on black. I was like, bro, I see it. I know what to do. Anyway. Okay.
Nope. Nope. I already took the tool out, and you can do it that way, I think. What do you keep? Give me this thing. Look at a real extension. That wobble thing is going to kill you.
That wobble thing, that was a real extension?
No, it had a wobble head on it. Do you know what the difference is?
I mean, obviously not.
The
but-
top of it, where the socket goes on, that one's all flat and square. That one's got angles cut in it, so the socket moves around on the tip.
Oh, I see.
That allows the socket to move around.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. I just thought it was
And you
loose.
always grab this one. Always.
It's probably
grab
because it
this
has a material. All right, this is the difference. if somebody had never seen this before, they might not have known that. So that's good knowledge. I'm happy to have sacrificed my what am I sacrificing by looking stupid on the internet?
Dignity.
Dignity. That's the word. I'm happy to sacrifice my dignity for the betterment of the rest of the internet. So that'll fit way better. Okay.
Well, I had already taken, it's already over the tool that's standing up next to the flashlight.
This boy?
Yep.
This goes. Do you think this is strong enough being the rounded?
Well, we could always cut it off.
No, Brian.
No, I would break it loose with the solid one first.
Break it loose and then use that one because it got plenty of space.
It's gonna be easier, yeah.
Okay,
So go ahead and crack both of those loose.
cracking it loose isn't going to relieve
It's not
any of the
going
pressure.
anywhere.
Okay,
Just breaking the tightness of the bolt free.
right,
So when it's time to take it off, there's no struggle.
right.
A little bit of pressure in there, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, that's enough. That's crack loose would have been the bing, and then you're done.
Right. I feel like a doctor right now.
Good.
All right, rear shock is broken loose. So now we're gonna relieve the pressure on the rear shock by moving this.
Now the easiest way to tell if you've gotten the pressure off is to put a tool in one of the bolts and back it out, and when you feel it get real loose, you've taken the pressure off.
Okay.
Well, you're probably gonna have to use a little bit more. Put the tool, the wrench on it. The socket, yeah, the ratchet. That's the thing, the ratchet.
Hanging around me too much. Okay. I mean, I can easily do this now, and I wasn't able to like 2 seconds ago. So is that
Go a
good?
tiny bit more. Okay. It's still loose?
Right.
Then you're good.
Okay, so I'm taking this out now.
Yep.
Wait, can I have my little?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
No.
Okay. Have I ever told you I love our conversations?
It's not going anywhere.
I know, but it's still just terrifying. How long is this freaking bolt, dude?
Should be pretty much out by now.
Right. So should I
Bring the
lift?
jack up a little bit, yep. And keep turning. See if you can feel it getting loose or tight. There we go, pull it out now. Turn and pull at the same time. There it
Okay.
is. There was just a little bit of tension on it.
Right.
Now you can take the front one out. The weight of the bike is now on the jack
Okay, for sure,
Yep.
because it's
because this isn't attached anymore.
right. So this should be far easier. This bolt should be far easier than
It's just going to come right out. Good. You're gonna
Does
clean
this
all that
need,
hardware off.
Oh, okay. Are you cleaning that so that it gets all the grossness off of it?
Well, we're about to put the heat shield over it, and once the heat shield goes on, we won't be able to get to
Don't wanna
most
go
of
back on
this.
it. Got it. Is this bolt gonna get anything?
Well, is there Loctite on it?
Doesn't seem like it. All right, I didn't notice any when it came out. Looks like grease or something. So we'll be putting new grease on it?
Yep.
So is that a way to know what to put back on something when you take it out? Is you just look at it and if it's got like grimy, gooey stuff, put grease on it?
Well, if it has grease on it, you clean the grease off and you put new grease on.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Whether
Well, you can't call it grimy, gooey stuff because that grimy, gooey stuff could be road debris and corrosion.
Oh.
You know.
Well, I was thinking in a thought process of like it's either going to have crusty colored stuff or grimy, gooey stuff. Grimy, gooey stuff being the...
What if it has chalky white stuff?
Good question. What happens then?
Well, what's the chalky white stuff?
I don't know.
It's corrosion.
Oh,
So if you pull a corroded bolt out, it's got no Loctite on it.
right.
You might want to put some grease on it, being that it came out corroded.
Oh, so grease stops corrosion.
Yes.
Don't do that. Yes, because I didn't know grease. I thought grease was just a lubricant.
Lubricants
Mm-hmm.
stop corrosion.
There we go. That's the key. The key knowledge. Okay.
Shocking. Come on, we got this thing resting on the
I know.
on the $4,000 exhaust system.
I don't remind me how much it costs.
Hey, we have to put the subframe on? Isn't that why we're doing it like this now anyway?
Yes. The anxiety got to me. Okay, carbon fiber. Got to be careful. Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Are you just routing the exhaust cable?
Man, I really don't like how open this is.
Like this little bump area?
Yeah, because, I mean, this gets covered, and the rider's seat is right here.
So you're saying heat?
It might even be hotter than it was before. Then again, when you're putting a race exhaust on, you're never sitting still.
Right.
So, put that important one in down there at the bottom.
I was trying to thread it in. It wasn't wanting to go in.
All the more reason to do it now.
Okay.
Take a look, make sure it's lined up before you just try and stick a tool on it and run it in.
Where's the flashlight? And that should be accessible.
There. So the bolt goes in this way, not straight.
So at a high angle?
Yeah, that's why it's not going in for you, because you have it at the wrong angle.
Oh,
And there it is.
Okay, yeah. So you were saying just to thread it in, just to get it going.
Thread
right?
it in until it touches,
Yeah.
and then tighten that bolt and this one on this side, and then we can put the shock back in and get the weight off of the exhaust system and the engine case.
Right.
And then if I remember correctly, they don't go on super tight. I tighten the ones at the bottom first.
Okay. How did you reach the one at the bottom? Or is that one, do you have more access to that one?
Well, it wasn't like this before. It had a different heat shield on it.
True. Because, like, this guy is really, the little bumper is getting in the way.
Pull the little bumper off. Oh, which bumper?
The bumper
That one?
right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Nope. Yes, maybe. Put the tool in.
Like, the tool, like, this is finger tight. So the tool is
Keep
not-
turning it in. It may give you more room. Try and put the tool in.
Yeah, the tool is, like, got a lot of space.
Okay. What other little red suitcase, tiny ratchet setup?
There we go.
Put the tool on first. Turn the ratchet down further.
It's not working.
Is it working now? Okay. How are we going to torque that to any sort of spec?
I'll show you. But we don't have the spec for it, do we?
Not right now. Not during our haste.
Even if we didn't, we still don't have access to a manual. Can you actually get that in there, or did it work?
Yeah, I mean, it's in there. It's
Okay,
like,
so in that case with the little tiny ratchet
yes,
is an extension.
right.
Put the extension on. That may be too big, but give it a shot, see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, no, that works really well.
Now we could torque it.
Right.
So what we do is you take the little tiny ratchet off, you get a 1/4-inch socket from your box,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put the torque wrench on the 1/4-inch socket and put the 1/4-inch socket on the end of that tool, and away you go.
This little guy.
That's probably
Yeah.
honestly tight enough,
Okay.
because here, let me do this side. I don't think the torque spec for it was very high. See, here is now where I thought we were going to have a problem, and we have a problem.
That little side bolt's not.
Yeah, that's not even close. Not even in the neighborhood.
Shit. So you're talking about the little hole on the side of the heat shield.
Can I have that real ratchet?
Yeah.
All right, come see what I'm looking at.
So it's like right here.
Yeah, it's way over here. And this is resting. This is resting on the swing arm, so it's going to scratch the shit out of the swing arm.
Right. Was that bent before?
Yep.
I don't think it was bent like that.
It was. Because these rubber stoppers were putting pressure up here. It's not touching the head pipe. It's like just enough space to see light.
So should right now we go ahead and put their shock in just so we can relieve the pressure on the exhaust?
The only thing I can think of is that these wings need to be on the top. And that would allow this to kind of come forward a little bit, and that would slide this angle forward, and maybe that would line up then.
What wings are you talking about?
Dude, it's touching right there. Where that indent is? Yeah, you can see light past it, but that indent's touching the pipe.
See the flashlight?
To your left, Luke.
Or you understand what I'm saying? That the only other way I could see this is if these are up here. But that's not how it showed it in the directions. Where's the little ratchet with the...
I put it back in there.
Oh.
And another thing is this is a different subframe.
Yep.
Because, yeah, it shows it at the bottom of the subframe because you just put it.
I'm just trying to fix the gun. Seems to be working now, though.
I mean, it works. and then it's just like,
Yeah, I disconnected my phone's app to it.
yeah.
I don't understand what would be causing that.
I mean, I get that would roll it forward, but then is it clearance?
It might, yeah, there's going to be a clearance issue there.
Yeah.
One way or the other, there's a fucking issue.
So what are you guys doing right now?
I'm going to tilt the subframe up, and we're going to have to move some shit around, do the whole fucking thing over again, pretty much.
Say what?
Do everything over again. That's already loose. All right. Take this bolt out, Chase.
Which one? All the way?
Yep.
So we're not going to lean it forward, just going to take it all the way off.
It doesn't swing over it.
So the first issue was the whole problem. and
That
then
is
there
the
was-
issue.
That is the entire issue. Okay. What's your thought on what to make it not do that? Or slightly adjust it?
I'm going to put this bracket, so actually, can I do it? Like, so it goes in that side.
Okay. Do you want me to take the rubber things out since we'll probably need
Just
to?
let me get the thing off first.
Maybe that highlighted a bit.
Huh?
Highlighted something for it.
You don't want to flip these right now?
I don't
because-
give a shit.
Well, like, it were 2 bolts, right? From,
I mean, it's really not going to make a difference. If you flip them, there's still rubber touching, or there's not rubber touching. I mean, if you want to try and pull those things out and put them back in again,
yeah, just because, like,
fucking pissed off. These things are so stupid.
So, this thing's done. I don't know what's wrong with that. Let me see. So we had it on this way to begin with.
Yes.
Right, yeah, because you just flipped it. What if it, I know that's weird, but what if it sits like that?
Yeah, but then
Kinda
the way
lost.
the heat shield goes on is
That's why I know it's weird.
because the heat shield, there's little spacers that sit on here. I just
Okay.
don't think it's right.
I was just making sure that wasn't an
Yeah.
option.
I kind of twisted this rubber thing.
Never seen this thing act so weird.
I mean,
It's not responsive at all.
could this be an option, Brian? That this is slightly tilted?
There's no way to straighten that. It's bolted to the cylinder head.
Well, it's not bolted, but you know, it's like there's a small gap over here. Like on this side. So what if instead of sitting in there straight, it's kind of at an angle?
It has
I know
to.
it's not going to take up 1/4 of an inch of
Yeah.
play.
I mean, I would leave this at whatever. I mean, it's really not going to move with everything else attached to it.
Okay.
So. Oh man, this is what happens when you make one fucking part for 5 different machines.
I took the control out. You're just gonna have to hit record.
Is that what you called it?
Yep, I think so.
Really? I'm fine with pressing that.
It's just not. I haven't updated firmware on any of that, so there should be absolutely no reason that it goes from working fine to not.
Okay.
Whatever. You're saying this is what happens when you make one part that has to fit like 1,000 things?
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys like
I
decide?
moved this so it's on the other side of the subframe. It's not
Right.
down here, it's up here.
Okay.
Hopefully that works. I don't know if it's gonna or not until we put it back on and try.
I'm the same way with the gimbal. Now that it's not, Lord. When there's smoke, the whole forest already burnt down. You know what I'm saying? These go on this side, right?
Put that thing on. Did this once already.
Yeah, but I didn't think there was the.
I have carbon fiber splinter.
You're a better man for it.
Until you have one, you can't say that.
You're slowly integrating carbon fiber into your body. You want a needle nose pair of pliers?
There ain't nothing getting that out until my body pushes it out.
Yeah.
Round
Good?
2.
Round 2. Fight. Okay.
Now it has to go on like that.
Right. Do you want to grab that cable?
Does the bottom, make sure it all goes in. Because I don't think it's gonna.
I think though.
Nope, the heat shield is now in the way.
Let me get a good, can you point out the thing?
Now it's touching the cylinder head.
Yeah, right here. It won't let it go any farther forward.
Okay, back off again.
We were playing a game.
Playing a lot of a game.
It's the put it together, take it apart game.
Yep. I'm gonna put the old shock back in when just put the bolts in so that I can relieve the pressure on the exhaust. Should I do that?
It seems to be okay.
It touches fuses also.
Yeah. So are we going with original plan 1 that has side not fitting?
I have no idea what the fuck we're gonna do right now.
Right, because
We need to change batteries.
camera needs batteries.
Want to take a water break?
Yeah, let's take a team
Slow
pause
down.
right now because between the gimbal issues and that and this, like we're gonna call it T. We're gonna be right back. Live stream. We're gonna get some water and we're gonna be back. I'm gonna put you guys on break and yeah, we're gonna regroup. we're back. Where are we at? Build stream, we're going to talk
We're
to
got
the
some
camera.
shit up right now is what we're about to do. Chase is holding a cutting utensil. Things are not good.
Alright, you want to put it on the bike and explain everything?
Yeah, you guys are probably watching this and saying to yourselves, Chase, why are you plugging in a Dremel tool?
And holding a carbon fiber heat shield.
Yup. So, guys, it's been a minute. We took some time, did some research. Obviously, we've tested different
Options?
options, ways of installation. This is not just me, so you can trust this data. Why is there...
Alright, it's because I turned the volume up to do the research. Sorry.
Oh, right. No, you're good. So, we've all been doing this. This is not just Chase's idea, so this isn't like some stupid idea. We've been texting back and forth with Manny at Moto Million, so thanks, Manny, for helping us out. Our solution currently...
Whatever.
Let's move over here so you guys can get the full picture. We're having clearance issues, But even if we weren't having these issues, this hole, if fit into this slot, there's a fin right here that touches the swing arm. Right here, this is touching and this hole is lined up. So that's a fitment issue. For you guys that might not be aware, the swing arm moves a lot while the motorcycle is in operation. It's constantly doing this.
And that piece of carbon fiber would wear through that aluminum swing arm before you even knew what happened.
So cutting this is the only option we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And cutting this carbon fiber heat shield is not even going to guarantee that this is going to be fixed, the fitment issue up here.
Right, because our fitment issue here is that this bolt hole, this mounting tab for the heat shield so it doesn't vibrate, doesn't line up.
Right. There is a chance that if we cut this, it will give us enough flex
To get this
to
bolt to
get
line
that
up.
in.
But we don't know until we cut it off.
But cutting it off is an absolute requirement. So that's where we're at. We are cutting the carbon fiber on a $4-something thousand exhaust.
Carbon fiber heat shield from a $4,600 exhaust system. Because you know $4,600 exhaust systems need to be modified with cutting tools. Needless to say, I'm a little upset over this whole thing.
Also, our recommendation from Manny is use a brand new sharp Dremel cutoff wheel and cut along the edge. So that's where we are. Gonna wear safety glasses.
I would put your respirator on too.
Really?
Carbon fiber dust is not good for you.
Okay.
This is not, I can't change focus at all.
Just hit the shutter and it'll turn back on.
Never done that before.
Wow, I legit have to fully safety up. Like,
Well, respirator and your shield. You don't need glasses and a shield.
I mean, I was just gonna wear the glasses.
Or respirator and glasses and call it done.
Right.
But yeah, you don't want to breathe in carbon fiber. You don't really want to breathe in dust from anything you're cutting, but especially carbon fiber dust.
Right.
I'm just going to stand way over here.
Next to the air filter.
Wherever I need to stand next to. Pretty much as far away from the cutting that's happening as I can.
Shield your ears.
I'm going to stay over here.
All right.
Is there a certain direction I should cut?
Spin the wheel. Which way does it turn?
Turning this way.
So you want the cutting edge rotating into the direction that you're cutting.
So I need to cut like this then. Thought we were done with this kind of shit when we got done with the bobber. So
You ready?
no.
I'm going to tell you right now that you're not set up very good.
Help set me up as, so I can achieve success or I have the best chance.
You want to put that down so it can't move around in your hands while you're trying to cut it, because if it skips on the carbon fiber, it's going to make a mark wherever it touches.
Okay.
So you want to put this someplace. Even if you have to put something down and put it like this and hold it down while you cut it,
Right.
you want it to be firm.
Right. And it can't be.
You don't want to hold it floating, because then this shakes and this shakes, and there's just way too much stuff going on. And there's a better chance of making a mistake. So honestly, if you want to, I'm going to, hold on. Is there another respirator?
Is it really not doing anything? What mode do you have it on?
Huh?
What mode? What? You're gonna hold it?
I have to.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
You ready? All right. Does this need to be one smooth action the whole way?
As best you can get it. If you can get it in one cut,
Get like a piece of wood or something to prop your elbow up. Don't cut it from the top. Cut it from like the bottom and have like your arm as stable as possible.
Oh, like this?
like this.
Cause you're gonna cut the fuck out of your forearm if that thing skips. You know what I'm saying? Like you're cutting it like this, you
Yeah.
fucking lose it. Like
So you're saying to,
yeah, like you wanna be in full control of it.
If you have to hold it with two hands, there you
So-
go. Yeah, brace it as much as you can.
okay,
Don't touch that button.
all right.
I'm going to switch this out for a small grinding bit. Do you need the wrench?
Yeah.
Smaller?
The reason we all have respirators on is because carbon fiber dust.
Yeah, no good. Did you see how it's all over your hands?
Yeah.
It's so fine. You breathe that stuff in, it's really not good for you.
Is that one size down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not fitting either. Just hand me a pair of like pliers or something.
I would if I was fucking tall enough. You guys putting the pliers as high as you possibly fucking can in this joint. It's the only ones you have. And they're pretty much hanging from the ceiling.
I got you, B.
Let me see if this is going to work or not. That's going to work, but I need to make a guideline for you.
Alright. This is so ridiculous.
Can you handle that?
Just cut it to where there's no line.
Perfect along that line.
I can certainly try.
Okay. However, you can hold it now. That's up to you now.
Yeah, I feel like I'll just do it like this and
Too fast. Too fast. Too fast.
too
Like
fast.
half speed. One more. That's good.
What is happening?
You're sliding the bit off of the...
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure this stays on the carbon. Looks pretty smooth, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. For having to cut off a giant chunk.
All right, now we get to reassemble everything and try it again.
I'm gonna get some B-roll of that because that's a really good job. Alrighty. We good for respirators?
Yeah, it should be okay. It's one thing about carbon is you can't really smell it when you're cutting it.
Right.
Do we want to put these on in the direction that they say to? Like the instructions, how it had them up the other.
I guess we can. Doesn't make any sense, but sure, why not?
Hey, it doesn't make sense. Turns out neither does cutting a carbon fiber heat shield. I try to keep telling myself, like, hey, it's frustrating, but at least we're going through it, so if somebody sees this, they'll know. But
What are you changing this?
what did what?
What are you changing this?
Just made it show what the final video can look like.
Yeah.
Is that helpful for you?
Yeah, because the floor is like raw.
Yeah.
You know?
That camera's not capable of RAW, but I understand what you're saying. It's very desaturated.
I thought you would get the point while I was putting these on that you would stop.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure I didn't fuck that recorder up when he asked me that question, because I'm like, I know what I did, right? And then, yeah.
Try and center that bracket before you tighten everything. Okay, round 4.
Is it 4?
I think so.
Feels like 12. It's taken so long our lift lights died. That's when you know the S has really hit the fan.
Don't you think it would be easier to hold it from underneath here? Hey, that's a little easier, isn't it? Oh, we should probably put a heat shield on.
That's where we are today, boys.
Yep.
Wow. Made it past all of us. Thank God it wasn't just me.
It's like, hey, why does this look so easy?
This is the aftermarket mod. It's called the heated up mod, where you just remove the heat shield and just let the full exhaust sit underneath the driver or rider, whatever you want to call them.
Sit underneath the meal. You know, because they'll be cooked by the time it's up.
Nailed it. For a split second, I thought you threw the gimbal. And part of me was like, good. Fuck it. That's where we are right now.
I did actually thought that you threw something over there.
I did.
Oh,
Ventilation.
I made it land perfectly though. Look at it next to the McMaster.
you threw the respirator?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Nice job.
Should be a basketball player. Tighten those fuckers.
Did it a whole lot. So tall as me, I can shoot hoops.
Good. Bro, you gotta tell me I got a cousin that's 6'7". I don't think he's ever picked up a basketball.
Right?
Good for him for not going into social norms or social pressures or whatever the hell. You guys just want to make this a bobber right now and just like the hell. of the
Shut up and
suffering?
put this thing on. Bobber. Make me stab you.
Well, it certainly went in easier. That's for sure. Where are you at, hole? There you are.
That didn't fix it.
It didn't fix it?
Nope.
It fixed a problem. That's all I know. Can it be flexed?
You give me a
Nope.
little- Can you give me a little flex? Oof.
So it's not even.
Not gonna go.
I thought we said goodbye to all these type of problems. These bikes, man, they're going to drive me back to drinking. I stopped for a while after the bobber. We didn't have bourbon in the house for months. And then today happened. At least it's Friday, so like, it's like socially acceptable. So, Brian,
I'm disgusted.
we're all just gonna sit in it for a second. It's like, come on, just, I need you to, there we go. What a story arc. This story
So
started-
flipping those little rubber buttons over allowed for clearance in between the heat shield and the actual pipe.
What do you mean?
This shield and the actual head pipe before they were touching.
Right. So this is definitely the way this goes on.
I doubt it.
Jeez.
How can you say definitely if not everything lines up?
Yeah, 'cause
True.
it's not
No,
even
no.
pushing up against anything. You know what I'm saying?
So I feel like this needs to go on like this. These rubber washers need to go on the other way, and this needs to be burned with fire.
Well, here's our deal. We've got a 959 that we're putting an exhaust system on that was built and designed for a 1299 that has a completely different subframe and completely different swing arm. So where this mounts on this bike has to be different. That much different than where it mounts on 11-1299.
At least
There's
we've-
no way to move this that way.
Right. Yeah, Luke, you might need to be over here so we can all like look at the misery together.
No. This is where the carbon lives, right here. And that's where the hole is, out here.
Man, if the hole could be like right here, we could just like drill into it, right? It would be terrible, just as terrible as cutting into it, but it would be doable.
I mean, we could drill a hole, but then we have a hole next to a hole. All right, I need Termignoni's customer line, and they're going to have to put somebody on the phone that speaks English and speaks angry English. Because that's fucking bullshit. You can't put that this pipe fits this bike if the shit doesn't fit. And if you're going to make it that it needs to be altered, don't drill the hole.
Yeah.
Let whoever's putting it on drill it. Put a little mark on it, you know, like 1199, 1299, 959. Oh, 959, drill this one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, heat shield's on, pipe is on. This is going to be the hottest exhaust system in the history of Panigale. You thought they were hot before? Look at how much open space there is now around this pipe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little warm. A little bit.
So let's get the shock in this thing and get all the weight off of the fucking rest of the exhaust system.
Okay.
There's nothing we can do about that. Let's move on.
Yeah, we're okay.
This is going to be phone calls and emails and pictures and, you know,
We'll come back to this.
because as of right now with this thing running, it would do that. Because there's nothing holding that.
Yeah, so you guys will we'll have to figure it out as we go later in the show and later down episodes. But anyway, okay. Yeah. Wow. That is terrible. These wires go above it, right?
I told you just throw that all over your arm. I was trying to clear it, so it went around the other side.
It's okay, Brian. You already told us you don't play basketball. So, if this is rotated, like,
Get that bolt in first. Don't pinch any wires.
now are you gonna work some sort of? No, you're not. Okay, cool. Check. I was gonna say witchcraft. But.
That looks lined up.
Yeah. Huh? Oh. That's terrible. The gimbal or the
Fucking shock.
true.
Yeah, gimbal's not working. I've given up on that.
Okay.
There we go.
Just had to slap it around a little bit. Now the stock little guard goes on there as well, right?
I think we're getting a carbon one though, aren't we?
We're gonna make that happen before it's finalized, so we're not even gonna waste time.
Yeah, that shock is super nice.
We're at a like super middle ground right now. We just have wow.
Right, so we got this super awesome shock on, and the heat shield for our super duper fancy exhaust system sucks.
Also, the gimbal is a piece of shit. Don't forget that.
And your gimbal is finding its own mind.
Right.
Become self-aware.
So overall, a pretty solid episode right now. kidding me? I'm just gonna I'm gonna do B-roll of the exhaust, and that way we can all breathe and have some sort of positivity. We don't have to worry about the gimbal, and then maybe when we cut back, we can all be smiling and not want to, you know.
So I'm ready for 4 or 5 shots.
Grab the camera. Oh man. I have to remember everything that I've learned. Yeah, Termignoni's gonna get called out on this video, fam.
They have to know that's an issue. We're not
Right.
the first people to put this exhaust on an 959.
Wow, so cool. I used to work here.
Yay, Brian working there.
I just realized that it says Akrapovich and not Termignoni.
All right. Thumbnail's gonna go one of 2 ways on this one.
Vertically or horizontally?
I went to Gryffindor. Or to Slytherin, or whatever the fuck.
So I totally want to take that Termignoni sign and a circle of tape around it and put a slash through it.
That'd be understandable.
All right, this didn't show because it's a different exhaust system. Oh, wait.
You gonna put that on all the sick burns I got handled today?
Heat shield's different.
Is that a 959? Is that a front exit Termi?
It's a full Termignoni, but it's not a front exit. Heat shield's
On-
different.
On their website, the front exit one is listed as 959 compatible.
Wait, is the front exit not?
No, it's
You just said the front exit is 959
Oh, it's
compatible.
listed. I
on
thought-
their website, yes. So like if they're like, oh well, it probably doesn't fit. Be like, well, you know what? You might want to change the website. Then.
You're saying on Termi's website.
On Termi's official website, it says
gotcha.
this. It says
Well, the pipe
that
is-
fits a 959.
Pipe's on. All that shit lined up, pipe is on, it fits. They didn't mention anything about anything else working, you know? But just looking at that thing, how hot that bike is gonna be. I'm not worried about the rattle. The rest of it is insane. This heat shield wraps all the way around the sides of that head pipe. That one doesn't even come close.
This is gonna be one hot bike.
We get to figure out MotoZone's return policy.
With what? Ah, right. Hi, could you take the exhaust back? We're gonna redo that episode.
We're gonna just get a trash bag and put it all in there and just held back. Like,
That's the clickbait video of like me holding the Termignone exhaust over a garbage can. Be like, nope, don't need this one no more.
honestly, if you put it out into the ether, like, hey, who's got an $11.99 or $12.99 that wants to buy this exhaust?
Right.
Like, well, we fucked up the heat shield, but it's personalized.
So, Brian, what does the full Termi exhaust rear header look like?
It's the exact
It's the
same.
exact same thing.
The only thing that's different
Is the heat shield.
Is
No, if the pipe is shaped the same as this, then we can get the heat shield for that, right?
it should be the same exact, because remember the headers come separately from the slip-on. You know what I'm talking about? It's like D155 CT or whatever.
But I don't remember if the heat shield comes with the slip-on or the full pipe portion.
It would have to come with the head pipes.
I guess you would think so.
That's what it says on the website. So
Okay.
like if you go to, so click over to just that, then scroll to the bottom. Very bottom. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, D155 collect. So it'll show you the part number. What was that part number he said earlier? Oh boy. So that's the Ducati part number.
Mm-hmm.
10141 Alpha.
The part number he sent was 969101418.
It's the exact same one.
We could kindly ask the people of Termignone in this video, or we can ask the people that watch this video.
I mean, I can find something. I can go to Ducati's website and see if they have a heat shield for Panigale, but I don't know if it's going to fit these exhausts. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm saying, like, we say something to Termi in this video and be like,
Sure.
in your website,
Let's do it.
you say that, because the episode's done.
They can be like, yeah, I mean,
Because you're a bunch of fucking liars.
geez.
Because you just want to sell shit.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
Should probably tactfully.
yeah, have a little tack.
Yeah, a little, just
Um,
a little tiny tag to put it on the wall.
I got some attack for you.
a tag. Oh,
Yeah, like this
got
is
it.
this is an issue that we're running into. How do we fix it? I mean, you're probably gonna send an email, but
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap the episode with that then.
This bike is going to handle so much differently.
In a good way or a bad way.
Well, when we put that shock in, I had to raise the back end up a little bit to get it to line up. That shock is just a hair longer than the one that was in it. So the back end sits up a little bit higher. So the handling is going to be a little bit different.
It'll be different if somebody rode the stock one to this one. It's not, but
Or a stock 959 to this one. It'll be
Right.
different. Man, that bike looks so different with that piece of subframe on there.
yeah, I was gonna say it's
It's starting to look like a motorcycle again.
right. Where we've come full circle to where we're back to a motorcycle.
I'm gonna say right here. So Jason, or do you want to? Do you want to say your little credit about the exhaust run as well? Or no?
I don't know. I'm still angry, so I may say something I regret.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on.
what we can.
Oh, you want me to record or not?
No, yeah, you're good. Like, we haven't. There's an edit that happens in between what goes live. Okay. So, we're here at the end of the episode. The good news is the new shock looks phenomenal,
And it was a nice fit.
and the rear shock was a nice fit. Speaking of nice fits, what is really not a nice fit is when a website or a manufacturer's website says that this exhaust fits this motorcycle. And
Well, I mean, you got to be nitpicky about it because the exhaust system does fit,
the exhaust, like the metal parts, fit.
but the accessories for it don't.
Termignone, we're not necessarily happy. We would love guidance, a solution to our problem. If you guys are watching this video at this point, I feel like we are all owed a solution to putting a front exit Termignoni exhaust onto a 2016 959 the right way, because the instructions, in my own personal opinion,
The instructions don't show anything about a 959. The instructions for 11.12.99 only. So if you're going to say on your website that this exhaust system fits this machine, then you need to make sure that everything that comes in the box fits on the bike.
right. We've done the cutting, like the cutting of the carbon wasn't even, like it was terrifying, but like we did it, got it working.
We were
that's
going to have to
fine.
do that regardless.
Right. And we're okay with that. If we had to cut the carbon, whatever. But
The fact that this last mounting bolt,
the bike is not on, and that's the noise that it makes currently, can you fathom, with a bike like this?
I mean, granted, as loud as this thing is, you may not even hear it, but
Right.
on that off chance that you're in that perfect RPM range and you hear this thing vibrating,
Yeah.
not
So,
only that, but
hey.
as it vibrates, it's going to chew through stuff.
Oh, true, because all the... If you're watching this video and you work anywhere close to Termignoni, shoot us an email, because we would love to create some solutions with you. I don't want to talk ill of anyone.
I do. I'm not going to.
I know you do, Brian. I know, but we are going to do our very best to not. So, yeah.
Well, I am pleased with my cut.
I'm pleased with your cut.
Well, with
too.
your cut and my finish.
Yeah, high five. We made the best of a bad situation. Okay. With the shock on and with whatever
It's-
you want to.
I'm so upset that we put this beautiful shock on and it's still a downer day.
Oh yeah, it's like you have a really good video, everybody loves it, and you get like one negative comment, and you're like, shouldn't have even made it. I should just go away. But it feels like a downer day because of the freaking heat shield. Anyway, this is the end of episode 12. If you guys enjoy this content, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to win the motorcycle once we fix the heat shield, make sure to check out Patreon. That is where we're going to give this bike away once we finalize the dream bike process. Slightly downer episode, but at least we got a cool exhaust, or a cool shock on it. Outro crew.
Hey,
One out of-
subframe's on too.
Huh? Yeah, it's almost a regular motorcycle now.
So we could technically run this wire back through, put the engine side covers back on, put the BBS back in, and plug all that stuff back in again if we wanted to.
Sure. Future episodes.
You know,
Yeah.
that would.
The outro crew to tweet this video.
Actually, no. Jacob, just go with me. This needs to go into the beginning of the video. Everybody, please, if you're watching this video, tweet Termignoni or email them and be like, hey, you need to go watch this video because there's problems. We're at the end of filming it, but you're about to watch this video and this does not end well. You could like the video too. That would help us. That would help. Look at Brian's face. Zoom in on Brian's face. We hit that like button so Brian... No, stop. We're pissed. You're going to have to watch the rest of the video to find out why we're pissed, but this does not end well. Don't show it. Oh, right. You don't even know what this is. Ha! Sucks to... Sorry, Jacob. I know you're going to have to blur this, and I haven't even All right, outro crew. Y'all should definitely tweet Termignoni, for sure.
Outro crew, let us know if you would actually still buy a Termignoni exhaust system after this.
The shot has been fired. We'll see y'all in the next one.
You know, because Termi makes stuff for more than just Ducati.
Right. Oh, I didn't do the budget thing. Oh, damn it. God, this thing cost this much. Shoot. I'm not good at that. Oh, wait, no, here, let's pretend. Just pretend it's not here. Oh, yeah, no, stay on that side. Wait, we can't show the subframe.
Hey, there's 0 reviews on this exhaust system for this bike. Should I smash them?
Probably have to log in.
Hey guys, here's our brand new Olin's rear shock. Here's our build budget change. Trick Joe, it's already on.
Not my garage. Oh wait, it is your garage.
God, it's like the bobber all over again. Damn it. Wait, should I do, what's it called? Should I do an infomercial on telling people to go buy this at the Cichito garage sale?
Post it on Instagram.
It's actually a really good idea. Build stream, where y'all at? If any of y'all need a stock rear shock for a 959, let me know, because I'll sell it to you guys for way freaking cheaper.
Throw it in the box of goods and bring it all.
$10 for this whole box. Let's add that in there, right next to the ZX10 one. Brian, go ahead and rate that one on yeah, you can do it on that website. All right, GH5S going off now. GH5 going off now. All audio going off now. Oh wait, no, we're still streaming. I just stopped recording. God, I felt like so much of an asshole. Holy shit.
Hey, all right.
Dude, I've been like, all right, live stream, deuces. All right, we're going to go, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed that shit show of an episode. And, yeah, we'll see you next week. I think we have a Q&A for you guys coming out next week. So, stuff to look forward to. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Go here. Sweet. Go here.
Dude, it's gotta be.
Click one more.